All right, guys, we've got a Premier League weekend we got to talk about. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. This is Red Card Radio's look at round 35 of the Premier League. It takes place over 4 whole days, 4 entire days this weekend. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that is Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below is Jimmy. He supports Liverpool. He's with us all this week. If you didn't catch his episode on Wednesday, just celebrating Liverpool, you should go back and check that out. But yeah, what we're here today, we're going to talk about round 35 of the Premier League. A lot of stuff on the line this week, guys. A lot of stuff.
Oh, tons.
Thrilling weekend.
Yes.
What will we do?
We have to remind ourselves that there's only 4 weeks left, and so we have to savor them all. Because
and there's so much to play for.
Well, I mean, you say that, but on June 1st, you're going to be sad that there's no football to watch. I'm just saying.
For 10 days, and then the Club World Cup happens. Football don't stop.
I'm going to be in baseball mode at that point.
I'll be done with sports seasons, and it'll be time to relax for a little while.
Wait, are the Cubs just no good this year already?
No, the Cubs we're still going to watch. We watched them earlier today. They were up 5-0 in the 6th against the Pirates.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, for us, like kids soccer is over at that point and everything. So
yeah. Summer mode. Okay, so round 35. I'm looking here at our very detailed rundown, and I see that we have 2 games highlighted: Everton, Ipswich, and Leicester, Southampton. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but those are 3 of the 4 relegated teams, and then or 3 of the all 3 teams that are going to be relegated, and then Everton, who should be an honorary
Southampton
relegation.
Not finish last is the question.
Oh, are they still? Oh, they're still on course to be the worst ever team in the Premier League history.
Yes,
they are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I know why we're talking about this game.
That's why we're talking about this game.
2 points.
1 point ties, right? With Derby?
Correct.
Derby, we're on 12.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay, that's actually a spicy one. It's at Leicester.
This is their best opportunity.
Is it? Who do they have? Do we know who they have the rest of the season?
Can't remember who else, but they're not going to play anybody worse.
That's a fair point. All right, let's see. Let's see what their remaining fixtures are. They've got Leicester. They've got that's
Southampton can't play at Southampton.
Leicester.
It's
City.
impossible.
They've got City, Everton, and Arsenal.
Yeah, this is their best shot.
Okay.
This is the chance.
So do they have a shot? Like, I mean, Leicester sacked Rude, so they got rid of Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah. Shocking.
I mean, neither one of these teams are on any good form. Leicester have lost 4 of the last 5, and Southampton have lost 3 of the last 5. Who's going to go out on a limb and take Southampton in this match? Or are we rooting for this to be the worst team ever?
I might take Southampton in this match. I think I might take Southampton in this match.
I'm going Leicester.
Away even.
Leicester getting the dub.
You know, kind of for the memes, I would like to see Southampton lose these remaining 4 games and concede like 25 goals across those, so they get over 100 goals conceded. Like, they're at 80 goals conceded right now. Do you think
bad?
They're awful.
I feel so bad for Ramsdale because like he's not a goalie that should give up 80 goals, but like,
brother,
they're just so bad.
He's just sitting there taking pop shots.
He's been relegated 3 times now. Maybe Ramsdale wasn't that guy. But it's realistically he's on a crap team.
Yeah, but I mean, I know you and I picked him for Golden Glove a couple of years back.
Yes.
Before just Raya came out of nowhere, but because I thought he was outstanding.
He was.
That previous year at Arsenal.
He was. He absolutely was.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's why I think that game is so interesting.
I didn't realize
I think it's the only opportunity.
Wow. Hey, and listen, we got the race for 17th.
Oh, true. Yeah, West Ham Spurs.
West Ham Spurs race for 17th.
That's a London derby.
It is.
If West Ham win that game, they will be 2 points clear of Tottenham, and Tottenham will be solely possessing 17th.
Like last year we made the jokes about Chelsea finishing in the top 12, right?
Yep.
No, sorry, 2 years ago. 2 years ago was top 12. Last year we finished top 6. Or top 7. No, top 6, but United. And now look at this. Now look at the Spurs. Spurs said, "You know what? We got to be Spursier."
Well, you want to know why? You want to know why it's not actually a thing that people care about Spurs? Because they're not actually a big club. I think the media reaction to where Tottenham are right now is just evident of the fact that they're not actually a big, like the fact that they used to be considered in the big 6. I think is just, it was always fraudulent. It has always been fraudulent, and they've always been a second tier team in the Premier League. In all of English
they've
football.
always. I think the shock though is, it's more shocking that Manchester United is in this position.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's shocking we're not hearing it every week about how bad Manchester United have been this year.
Yeah. And they're terrible. And
Yes.
it's still, it's laughable to me that you'd listen to, like, social media people talk about their best 11 of the season, and half of them have got like 2 Manchester United players on them. I'm like, are you out of your mind? They're all terrible.
They're all bad.
I think, with Spurs, I think that the shock is that they're not necessarily a big club, but they're never really a sub 10. They're always the top half of the table.
Agreed.
And that's why it's shocking.
Agreed.
And they spend, again, they're the 5th highest net spend in the last 3 or 4 years, whatever, in the league.
And their wage bill is quite high too. Like they have a very high wage bill as well.
That bought you 17th place, maybe.
It would be interesting I would love it if we could have had a documentary about Spurs season this year, just to see like it. Either Ange is the most clueless person in the world, or the players just don't care. Like I don't understand how this team finishes 17th or 16th.
I don't know either. Again, they've got talent in the team. I think I think they've had some injury issues, but I think the additions of Solanke were very positive for them. I thought it was a very good signing and he's been a decent player. I think Madison signing again was really good. Son is past his prime. They got to find a replacement. Everybody knows that. Their defensive line, we talked about this in the preseason, was the biggest question mark, and wow, were we right. But again, it also comes down to, we talk about the Liverpool game last week, the managerial choices of how to defend a Liverpool team. It couldn't have been the worst decision. You're going to have a very high line against Liverpool, who counterattack well, and one of the biggest strengths they have is the long ball capability out of their back. Yeah. And you think, a high line and keeping a press where we can't even actually build out of the back against a good press from Liverpool is a good way to tactically arrange your team coming into that matchup. I think the manager is a massive issue.
I think that his tactical inflexibility is a huge problem for Tottenham.
His game management is atrocious for this level.
They were down 2 players and had all 8 of them on the center line against Chelsea. Like, it was what I think Ange has more to learn, but also, let me put it this way: who else is going to come to Spurs?
Yeah.
So you fire Ange. Who else are you bringing in?
Well, that's kind of been my thought about Spurs this entire time, is that if you sack Ange, it's not like you're going to find a manager who's that's objectively better, that's appreciably better than what Ange is offering you right now, because they've irreverently sacked Jose, they've irreverently sacked Conte. Like big managers have been at this club and they failed.
Yeah. Can you convince Luka Modric to come retire, get his coaching card, and come to Tottenham and see if he can again be the legendary, player that he / coach or whatever he needs to be to maybe take Tottenham to the top 10 again?
They have Ryan Mason.
The promised land. That's the point. Yeah. If you're gonna do that, you might as well just get Ryan Mason and give him a shot, right? Do what Chelsea did with Frank Lampard.
I know, but that's the joke, right?
Yeah.
All of these clubs, they keep going back to good players that they hope to be good managers, right? And it's been a thorough bust. Again, look at the Alex Ferguson era. Has anyone out of that era at all been worth anything coaching?
No.
No. They've
No.
all
Hey,
been terrible.
Frank took Coventry from like one spot above relegation to the playoffs in the
Brad,
championship.
Steven Gerrard had like an unbeaten Rangers season, Brad. It didn't matter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but the championship is a lot more difficult than Rangers.
Okay.
I would argue the league the Rangers play in and the championship are two different leagues.
I would say that Rangers would be equally as competitive in the championship.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they would be. Rangers
Sure.
would be good in the championship. They might win
But
it. They
Rangers
might win
also
it easily.
would correct. They wouldn't have been at the bottom in relegation.
Well,
is my point.
but are you? So what are you trying to say by Frank?
I'm saying that I think Frank is actually a good coach.
We've gone over this. I think I've been on an episode where we've gone over this before.
I think he's
not that good.
I think he's he has better eye for talent than anything. But
how many of those players that he signed are still at Chelsea?
The games that matter?
That's a good question.
Bro, there's not a single player left from Chelsea. What do you mean? We have one player left from the Champions League.
So he's such a good spot of talent then that they retained all of them.
Okay, so the list of players that he wanted us to buy that got him fired is that he wanted Declan, he wanted Jude, he wanted Gyökeres. There's a couple other ones that like.
But but Frank Lampard didn't identify those as talent. The world did.
No, this was before. Gyökeres was in the championship. Sure, Declan, yes, 100%.
Declan and Jude, both world-class players.
Not when
well, he did Frank.
Not when they were being offered. Not when it was at 20 mil to buy him.
By who?
Yeah, Jude was still absolutely outstanding.
That's when.
But again, I've watched. Again, me as a Dortmund supporter, I've watched him longer than most people.
Like pre-Dortmund or the club before Dortmund is when he wanted to get him. Anyways, I think he would be a great director of football, better than a coach. I have said that too, but I don't think he's a bad coach. Should we get into the meat and potatoes though? The one race that still matters.
Is this?
We have 4 games.
Oh, okay.
Fourth place.
Fifth place.
Actual, yeah, 5th place. City Wolves, Villa Fulham, Palace Forest, and the Guard of Honor, Chelsea Liverpool. I am hoping your players turn up completely hammered and lack of sleep.
I have actually looked at this as we've got 4 games left, and I think you play for Golden Boot, so you play Mo.
Mo's already got the Golden Boot locked up.
I don't know that he officially has it locked up. I mean, I think it's still close enough to where it could be over. I mean, again, I don't remember what the final numbers are, but at the same time, though, I'm hoping at this point you just go ahead and start resting your guys. And
yeah, rest them all.
Not all of them, but you start playing. Start Harvey Elliott. Start Darwin Nunez, which I'm sure you love to see.
Bring him.
Start some of the people that maybe you're trying to sell, that maybe get some good minutes in competition. But again, I mean, you're never going to just play your academy against Chelsea. Absolutely not.
I know.
But I think you can. I would say you play Simicast the rest of the season. Maybe give Andrew Robertson 1 game. I think you're going to give Connor Bradley some opportunities. I wouldn't mind seeing Endo play over Gravenberch for a game. Whether or not, I don't know that will be Chelsea necessarily, but I'm hoping we see. I'm hoping we see some of the other players and maybe a couple of academy kids, because these games are, since they don't matter, they are excellent opportunities for experience on the senior team for some of the players that don't get as much opportunity.
Jimmy, you know what's funny about that? All those players that you are hoping, that Brad is hoping play, that you were kind of like naming, Liverpool will still beat Chelsea.
I think there's a pretty good chance. That's why I'm saying I don't.
Even with all those players that Brad is
even
like, yes,
Chelsea,
please play those guys.
Yeah.
Chelsea will still lose.
I don't think so, but that's okay. I think we're winning. But
Where's the game at? Where's the game at? Is it at the Bridge?
It's at Chelsea.
It's at the Bridge.
I'm taking Liverpool all day, every day. Speaking of who I'm taking and who you're taking, if you want to make selections, you can. If you look at the description of this video or the podcast, you'll see a link to our Discord. You can still, if you want to, get involved in the picks for this season. Pick who you think is going to win, who you think is going to lose, who, if there will be any draws. Which brings us to I want to take a quick look at the breakdown from last week. It was a pretty even week for everyone but myself and Chap. But Brad, Sean, Joel, and Jack and Jimmy all got 6 correct this week out of a potential 7. So that's a tremendous pick rate from you 4.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Also, Jack wasn't involved this week. I did it myself.
No, that's not
unconfirmed.
what you said.
No, the week prior.
Oh,
the week prior, I crowdsourced it to Jack's soccer team.
Oh, did you really? Is that the week that they
The
did
entire
poorly?
team.
Is that the week it did poorly?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got like 5. I think we
Okay.
did still fine.
That brings the total. You're still in the lead, Jimmy. You're at 177. Sean is just a few behind you at 173. Brad is 169. I think Brad made up 2 on you this week because he was down 10 a week ago. I feel like
He made a bunch the
2 weeks ago.
previous
I made
week.
up a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I crowdsourced.
Yeah, well, that checks out. So if you're interested in getting in this really, really highly scientific spreadsheet, you can do that in the description. Join our Discord or just send them to us on social media, however you want to. All that's linked in the description of the video. I hope you enjoy football this weekend because there's only 4 weeks left in the Premier League. We've got 4 rounds left. We got the FA Cup and then the Champions League and the European finals. That's all that we got left. And then it's the summer and this Mickey Mouse Club World Cup thing that's going on, which only people who like to embezzle money are interested in.
Correct.
So save it enjoy it while you got it because it won't be around long. Yeah, well, of course. We hope you guys enjoy football this weekend. We'll be back next week with a full breakdown of everything, and we hope to see you guys there too. So until then, enjoy the football, and we will see you all soon.